still on this topic of healing, but what are one of the requirements for healing is truth. Is truth. You've got to know the truth and apply the truth in order for healing, because it's deceit that has caused us to be sick, has caused us not to be well. And so I'm going to go to John 8:31. So Jesus was saying to those Jews who had believed him, if you continue in my word. So it's not, don't forget this, coming to Christ, yeah, you come once, but you have to continue in his word for victory. If you continue in my word, then you are truly disciples of mine, and you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. Then answered him, said, we are Abraham's descendants and have never yet been enslaved to anyone. How is it that you say you will become free? So clearly, these were people who had a false sense of security, right? They had a false sense of security. You shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. They did not think that they were enslaved. Clearly, what does the truth set you free from? It sets you free from the lie, right? It sets you free from the lie. That's what the truth sets you free from. It sets you free from erroneous ways of dealing with issues. Why do we get ourselves in jams in the first place? Clearly, because we don't act on the truth. We act based on deceit, opinions, things that are not true. They right here, they felt because they were Jews, essentially, that their physical or ethnic heritage, someone's being set free right now. I'm just joking. Yeah, they felt that their, give me a second, someone's, listen. They felt, hey, they felt that their ethnic heritage was going to set them free. Okay, I think we're free now. So they felt that their ethnic heritage was going to set them free, right? There's many things that we have depended upon that we feel are gonna set us free. So many things that are seemingly good, right? I see a lot of people reading a lot of different kinds of Christian book. They think it's gonna set them free. People talking about this diet, all of that diet. Listen, where you become free, first and foremost, is in your mind. Really, it is in your mind, is in your thinking, right? Some people feel that, oh, you know, if I kind of go to church a lot, get busy with the church, get involved in all of these ministries, I will become free. You become free in terms of the way that you think, knowing what thought to accept and what thought to reject is what causes you to be free. It's kind of like eating fish with bones in it, knowing the fish to eat and what to spit out, right? This is the problem. We have taken so much information in without knowing what to spit out. And because we haven't known what to spit out, it's caused us to be in bondage, right? It has caused us to be in bondage. One thing that I know that we all have a tendency to do, right, is we all have a tendency to internalize things, right? Don't we? Have you ever not said anything, when you knew that you should and you've beaten yourself up because you didn't, right? Haven't we all done things like that? Haven't we all also said certain things that we shouldn't, right? We've beaten ourselves up. And then it doesn't stop there. We overanalyze what we should have said, and then that causes us to do something else that we shouldn't, and so forth and so forth and so forth. This is what I mean. This is the kind of bondage that we get ourselves into. In fact, actually, we've taken it into the next day. We've caused it to prevent us from sleeping the way that we should. We have caused mistakes and thought patterns inside of ourselves to cause us to explode on other people, right? That we shouldn't. This is what I'm talking about in terms of now not knowing the truth and us getting into bondage. You shall know the truth, and the truth will set us free. How many relationships have we damaged, right? Because we've responded a certain way, right? And we've realized, oh, hey, whoa, how many times, right, have we actually just really almost depressed ourselves, made ourselves sad, and we needed, how many times have we made ourselves feel guilty about something that may or may not have been the issue? How many times, right, have we held ourselves without forgiving ourselves? In other words, now we've held grudges against ourselves. How many times have we held grudges against other people, right? This is what I mean. You shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. How many times have we've been jealous against other people? Sandy and I were just talking about the topic of jealousy. Oh, wow. Well, you know, their kids are in good shape. They're not on drugs. They're not doing, and we've been jealous about that. How many times have we done that? How many times, right, have we beaten ourselves up and we've robbed ourselves of time by saying to ourselves that, hey, we should be in a certain place by now, right? And how much of our time have we robbed ourselves of beating ourselves up, right? Because we're not in that place, rather than putting our focus on trying to get to that place, right? I mean, if I get lost on a journey, right? Should I get out of my car and start kicking my car to death? Or should I really start figuring out how to get found, how to get to my destination? That's what I should be doing. But so many of us, right, we get out of the car and we beat ourselves up about it, and it takes us really further away from our destination. We may eventually get to our destination. Hey, we could have a broken foot. By the time we get there, right, there's going to be some kind of damage, right? It's almost like so many times we feel like we need to be punished. How many times have we not been able to take simply the forgiveness of the grace of God, right, and let ourselves go? How many times have we not been able to simply take the grace of God for healing, for a better life, right? So many times, right, we hold things against ourselves. No, I don't deserve it. I'm not worthy. I'm not. You know something? That may be true. God doesn't give anything to anybody because they're worthy. God gives it to people because he's worthy. This is how we have to start thinking. We have to, if we start thinking that we are worthy, and this is what these people are doing. We're Abraham's children. We're worthy. It's like a status thing. You know, in England, because of Henry VIII, anybody that's born in England, because Henry VIII divorced himself from the Catholic Church because the Catholic Church would not, England used to be a Catholic country. The Catholic Church would not give him an annulment of his marriage to Catherine of Aragon, right? What he did, oh, okay, the Protestants who he was killing before, hey, that seems pretty cool, that Protestant thing. Now I can make myself the head of the church, annul my own marriage, and marry someone else. Sounds good. And so he co-opted the church. He took it over. And so English people now, when you're born in England, it's, you say C of E. So I usually belong to C of E, means nothing, Church of England. So meaning that just like these so-called children of Abraham, right? You say now, oh yeah, I'm a Christian, C of E, no commitment to Christ just by being born. There's a biggest lie you'll ever, in fact, actually, that has caused England to be a spiritual graveyard. England used to send people all over the place as missionaries. Now people all over the place are going to England as missionaries because the light went out. That's an example of a lie. You know something? We have to get into question our decisions. I'm so big now on writing things down. Let me look at it on paper. Let me view it differently in my mind, on paper, than I would in my mind. Because here's the problem, right, about deceit. It only has to be very subtle, right? If I miss a plane by 5 minutes or 5 hours, it's the same thing. I still miss the plane, right? I still miss the plane, right? We've got experience. By experience, I mean, because of our experience, there's a certain way that we make decisions. Some people make decisions impulsively. Some people are so deliberative, right? They're almost like those juries who are out forever. They still can't make a decision. What's going on? They can't make a decision. Some people are in the middle. Listen, what we've got to do and what we've got to say coming into this 2022, I am not going to allow my negatives from the past to dictate my 2022. We've been going year after year after year after year. Really, 2022 should be a different year. Every year should be different. But it's not going to be different if we're using the same criteria, right? Experience to make the same decisions. Don't do what you know. Don't make a decision based on what you know. And that's typically what we do. Oh yeah, I know this. Yeah, I'm safe here. No, you're not safe. You're just trapping yourself in the same old bondage. Make decisions now based on new information. Write things down. Say, where is this really going to take me? Don't do it for the sake of doing it. You know, there are so many people in business and churches, you know what they'll say? Oh, yeah, we do it this way. You ask them, why do you do it this way? You know, they'll say, we've always done it this way. We've always done it this way. It's doing for the sake of doing. No, start saying that we're gonna do it differently. We're gonna do it differently because if you've always done it the same way, you're always gonna get what you got before. No, something has to change. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You shall know the truth, and the truth sets you free. The truth sets you free from deceit. It sets you free from deceit. And also, don't be afraid of doing things new. Be afraid of doing things the same way that you've been doing things. But don't be afraid of doing things that are new. Also, when there's any kind of negative emotions, jealousy, anger, write those things down. Deal with those things right away. Listen, jealousy is a lie, clearly, right? It's a lie. It's a feeling. It's not going to do you any good. All it's going to do is cause you it's just going to consume you. It's going to eat away at your joy. It's going to eat away at your hope, right? And also what it's going to cause you to do, it's going to distort how you view people now. Because if I'm jealous of someone, instead of me being happy for their success or what they are doing now, I'm looking at them as blocking mine. No. This is why we have to listen. This town is big enough for a lot of sheriffs, right? A lot of chiefs. It's big enough. I remember I used to watch those Westerns. This town isn't big enough for the two of us. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And we have to get into that. When those feelings come, that jealousy, that resentment, deal with it right away. Get practical. Theology should be practical. Cast that care up to the Lord. Refuse to let it eat you away. Once you have that feeling, if you get a jealous feeling, there's no way can you be happy with it. And all of these negative feelings, you know where they move to? Depression, anxiety, really. They all move to these places. And you know what they do? They ultimately keep you there. They keep you languishing there. So what we want to do is we want to deal with this. You cannot have these feelings. Stephanie called up on the radio, that needing to be right, that control. If you feel you have to control everything, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to receive the grace of God. Very, very difficult. You know, the greatest fulfilling life that you can have with God is to surrender all. And a life that is so unfulfilling is when you try and control all. Because here's what you are doing. You are actually saying, I am safe in the outcome that I can control. Don't ever be safe in the outcome that you can control. And let me tell you also what you're saying when you do that. I'm my own God. That's what you're saying. Really. Say, God, I am trusting the outcome to you. I'm not going to control it. It's 2022, Lord. I am trusting the outcome to you because I trust you, Lord God. And this outcome, I know is gonna be better than ever could. You have not controlled anything. There's a lie right there that you are in control. Control is an illusion. So people can lose their lives just like that. People go to sleep and don't wake up. What do you actually control? That's a lie right there that you're controlling. No, let me tell you something. It's an illusion. There's an illusion of control. And here's what you do if you're trying to control. I know anybody who's trying to control outcome is anxious. I know that they are sad, right? Because people that control, they have this fixation on outcome and expectations, and it's never that way. So really, it's self-defeating behavior. You are setting yourself up to be sad because you can't control all of the variables in life. That's why you have to give it to someone that can. And so many people will say, oh, that's crazy. Faith in God. No, let me tell you what's crazy. Faith in self. That's what's really, really, really off. No, you have to give it to God. You are not going to control outcomes. You'll never have peace. You'll never have joy. You will never enjoy life. The scripture says, Christ came to give us life more abundantly. If you our control or trying to control, you are taken away from that abundant life. You are taken away from that peace and that joy. If you have difficulty cracking a smile at times, being really happy, enjoying a moment, it's because you're controlling. Really, it robs you of it. It robs you of your peace. It robs you of that happiness. It robs you. Really, you have got to say, God, I am going to surrender. I am going to enjoy life. You know what God wants? God wants people to see people that serve him living an abundant life, because that's the best testimony. No, the best testimony is not giving people tracts. Best testimony, yeah, come to our church, you got great coffee. No, that's all nonsense. Really, I'm telling you, folks, really, the best testimony is a living demonstration of God's goodness. Paul says we are the living epistles to be read by all men. Really, the best testimony isn't telling someone, go and read the Bible. Why would they? Why would they? There has to be a living reference, right, that directs them to a written reference. Does that make sense? And so the best testimony is a living reference, is people seeing that you're living your life with peace, with joy, with abundance. Wow, these people are happy. You know, this darkness is going on. This is what God has called us to be, a light in the darkness, right? But as I said, it all starts with our thinking. And on that note, I'm going to end there.